When we feel stressed and overwhelmed, one of the worst things that you can do is not try to sit and look at what's causing you this stress and overwhelm in the first place. You need to dig deep as to why are you feeling this way and what are the different variables that's honestly getting on your nerves. And so it's important to have resources, either like therapy, self-reflective questions, working with a coach, but using the tools necessary to dig into yourself as to what's actually wrong. Is it the productivity at work? Is it my romantic relationships? Is it where I think I should be, my own self-expectations or the expectations of other people? Or am I just not feeling enough? Am I feeling like I should have more? Is it this emptiness that I have? So there's so many different reasons as to why people would feel this way, overly stressed, overly overwhelmed. For myself, I had the experience of having my company that I was running, and I started getting complacent because I didn't have a proper vision and I didn't have a specific path as to that was created by me as to how I was going to get to the next place. And so you can't create things if you're misaligned or if you're starting to feel complacent. You need to fix those things, be able to fix those levers and be able to align yourself so then you could move forward. And when that doesn't happen, you start losing productivity, you start getting out of the habits that really make you who you are in terms of the personal habits that you have, getting away from things that you love to do once in a while, being able to have your relationships, whether it's personal, professional, be a little bit strained, maybe get more upset easier. Then there's a lot of things that start happening. But worst of all, you start feeling like something's missing in your life, like you are being maybe somebody who you were not. And a lot of the cases, it's because you want to become a new version of yourself. You want to start reaching heights or do something different, explore a different part of yourself or create something new and build on top of what you're doing now, which is possible. So to have this sense of getting rid of the stress, it's important to have these different kinds of techniques. Partial breathing techniques, incredibly important. Another part is to have a physical mechanism to release stress. So being able to have something that you physically do, either if you have your palms together, release them, either if you're able to breathe in a certain way like I do, by bringing up your breath and pushing it down as you push down negative thoughts or push out negative thoughts. You reframe yourself, so having meditations that reframe what you're thinking and being able to take stress on, getting used to having this kind of pressure. But just like how we have this physical pressure that comes on top of us if we're wrestling or if we're having a physical impression on us, we need to be able to disseminate that pressure or redirect it so it doesn't literally crush us. A lot of us are letting the stress and pressure literally just weigh down on us mentally. And by having that happen mentally, it affects us physically. You're not able to sleep as well. You're not able to go throughout the day with as much energy as you could, or you could have. And so these things start happening. Meanwhile, they don't need to. So having proper emotional regulation, proper stress management is paramount. So then when these things come up during the day, you can at least have the hardship come to you, choose how you want to regulate your emotions, where you want to direct that energy, and then be able to handle it in a productive way. Also compartmentalizing yourself either throughout the day or in different situations that happen personally or professionally. So you're able to make space for yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally so you could handle one thing at a time. And one of the biggest things throughout this process is that a lot of people are going to want to fix everything at once. Meanwhile, that's not possible. What you have to do is focus on one pillar at a time. Meanwhile, several of the other pillars that you want to fix are going to be falling to the floor. They're not going to be built up at the same time. So you need to be okay with creating progress, with fixing these pillars of your mind one step at a time. While you strengthen these different parts, other parts are going to look weaker. they're not going to be fixed because you're only human. You can't fix everything at once. But that's the way it's supposed to be. And that's how you would get better. And that's how I really created my own system as to how I came back to myself, how I'm able to take the physical stress that comes and be able to push it down to the floor or redirect it and put it into this effort that I'm putting to do something productive, or be able to understand that when I have feelings of hardship or not feeling good enough, or can I do this, self-doubt or lack of confidence, then I'm able to transform that and turn it into energy and productive force to redirect it in a place where I'm going to dig into myself deeper, understand myself better, and put more refined effort, practical effort into moving in the direction of where I want to go. And by doing that, you create the answers of the self-doubt. And is this good enough? Yes, it is good enough. And where are we going? Well, I'm creating where I'm going over time. So we're creating the path. And these answers are created in that way. So that's what happens with stress and overwhelm. You need to make time for yourself. You need to do the things that are energizing to you. And you need to not beat yourself up so much about it. Because I did that for a long time, and I still do that to this day, but it's at much shorter increments. And when those feelings come up of negativity or things that push me down, I'm able to get rid of them much faster. And that's a skill. So you're able to learn that skill. That's what's needed when you get large amounts of stress and overwhelm. Trust in yourself, trust in your teachers, and trust in the process. And let things go more often. Easier said than done.